All right, in this section, we're just going to take a look at exploring some rates here. Now, rates are kind of like ratios in some ways, but what you're doing is you're going to be comparing two specific units. Some of the more common rates would be something like speed. Okay, so you have something like speed. We don't actually measure speed. How we measure speed is it's a relationship between distance, the amount of distance that you cover, and the amount of time it takes you to cover that distance. That's how we actually measure speed, and that is called a rate. Okay, so for example, if you were traveling at a specific speed and you cover a total of 80 kilometers, and you cover that 80 kilometers in 1 hour, then that is considered your speed. Okay, so that's the amount of distance that you cover over the course of 1 hour. Another common one would be wages. Okay, the amount of money that you earn compared to the amount of time that you actually put into it. So if somebody's working, they could be making, say, $10 per hour. And sometimes, and most commonly, we see it a lot when we go grocery shopping. We're looking for quantity compared to the size. Okay, so units, so for example, you'd have 250 tissues in a box, or you'd have a certain price for the amount of milk that you would get. So say 4 liters of milk for $4.50. Well, we want to try and be able to compare those prices so that we can relate, well, what's going to be the better deal, 4-liter milk or a 2-liter milk? So we're going to take a look at some examples here as to how rates can help us solve some problems. Okay, let's take a look at this first problem here. So we've got an issue here with Bob. Bob walks a total of 6 kilometers per hour. That's his rate that he is currently walking at. And what they want to know is, what is his speed in meters per second? So the unit rates that we're using here are kilometers and hours. So now we're going to have to convert those to meters and to seconds. Now, since we know that 6 kilometers, we know that there are 1,000 meters in a kilometer. So if we just take 6 and multiply it by 1,000, we're going to get 6,000 meters. So that is the amount of distance that he covered over the course of the 1 hour. Now, for the other unit, we've got 1 hour. And we know that 1 hour is the equivalent of 60 minutes. So now, how are we going to find out how much distance he's covering in meters for each minute? So we're going to have to break that down and find out how it is. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this total right here, 6,000, and we're going to break it into 60 groups. We're going to divide it into 60 groups, and then we're going to figure out how many meters are in one of those groups. Okay? And that is basic division. So if we take 6,000, we divide it by 60 into 60 groups, one of those groups is going to have 100. So in other words, we are going to be covering 100 meters per minute. Well, now that we know the rate of distance that we're covering 100 meters for every minute. Now we got to figure out, we've got this rate down, we know how many meters, okay, but we're still dealing with a different unit of measurement here in minutes. And what we're looking for is seconds. And since we know that for 1 minute equals 60 seconds, we're going to do the exact same thing as we did right here. We're going to divide that 60 seconds, we're going to split it up, we're going to divide the 100 meters by 60 seconds. I'm going to take the 100 and split it into 60 groups to determine how much we actually get. So if we take 100 and divide it by 60 seconds, we're going to end up with approximately 1.6 repeating. So therefore, Bob walks at a rate of 1.6 meters per second. Okay, So approximately 1.6 repeating. So about 1.6, 1.7 meters per second. Okay, now we're going to take a look at how it can help us when we are actually out grocery shopping. And that will be in the next video. So make sure that you check exploring rates at the grocery store.